As a groundhopper myself, you don't see football as just a game, but as a journey. With every stadium having its own unique story to tell. A tale woven through echoes of chants, the scent of fresh turf, and the energy of experiencing other fans. Different cultures, different traditions. It all comes together to create an experience that goes beyond the game itself. Groundhopping is about more than just ticking off stadiums. It's about embracing the unexpected. Because in those unplanned moments, the rickety stands, the last minute ticket, the stranger who becomes a friend, you find the true magic of football. So, where should you go? What makes groundhopping truly special, and how do you experience football like a true groundhopper?
And this is a very special episode for us because we've been getting requests to finally put together a little guide to groundhopping. And we say this is the ultimate guide to groundhopping, I guess. And for that, I'm really lucky and really glad that I have the main man in groundhopping, Groundhopper FC himself,
Yes, sir.
with me in the podcast. Bro, what makes groundhopping special? Describe it in a few sentences.
Yeah, for me, in a few sentences, it's like experiencing the unexpected. So you go to a stadium to a match, and you kind of have an idea what it looks like. You see, of course, like the images of a stadium, but it's always different than what it looks on the internet of the images. Wherever I go, I'm always kind of stumbled in a good or negative way. Negative ways sometimes.
Yeah, what are
uh,
negative ways?
when I see clips of fans that go really crazy and that are hyped up in on social media, for example, Leeds United, you see sometimes shorts of them that go really viral
The
about
chants.
how the fans bump, etc. But when I went to a game which was a high stake game, there was zero atmosphere. So there I was like in a bad moment. I felt like, I expected more. Also around the ground, in the pubs,
Mhm.
it was a dead experience. Also in the city, there was just nothing.
But even there, are you like, hey, it's part of the journey to also have these negative experiences so you can appreciate the good ones more?
Yeah, and of course you learn from it.
Yeah.
You also with traveling, you learn a lot about yourself. I've never seen it in a bad way. But and also for my video to to make a better storytelling from it, and I also learned to not always for myself hype things up in videos. Like
You're being
always.
honest. If you say it's a shit atmosphere, if it wasn't good,
Yeah.
if you weren't depressed, you say that. So groundhopping is not really just about the football. It's about the experience, the journey, the traveling, as you said, meeting people, right? Would you say, because some fans prefer groundhopping over just supporting a club, right? Would you say,
Yeah.
do you understand that, or do you understand them because you support a club as well? You're not
Yeah.
just groundhopping.
So like I do understand it because, and this sound maybe controversial, but as I explain it also to my viewers, is I have other dreams to fulfill, and there are some types of people that like to explore everything. They just don't want to be stuck at one place.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a mindset
Yeah.
I and others that follow me and send me messages have, and who I hope to to motivate and be a kind of inspiration for them, that sometimes you have to explore other things to also appreciate the things you have around you. And
Yeah,
that's
of
what you
course.
often you see with social media. It's like it's often so easy to forget what you have at home. And that's what I say sometimes in my outros, in my videos, uh, that when I go to a place, I sometimes forgot to appreciate what home is.
So would you say, through traveling you can appreciate what you have at home more even?
Yeah, 100%.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah. It's also to widen, to expand your view of, I think, not just football but also life and cultures as a
Yeah.
whole, right?
But I'm also learning a lot from different cultures.
Exactly.
I learned a lot from German people, how dedicated they are for their club, but also how dedicated they are when you have food with them. For example, how
Currywurst, Stadionwurst.
yeah, but also how their hospitality is towards foreigners. You have people from Portugal and Spain who are like really passionate in what they do, and how they almost celebrate life. In
La
Poland,
vida, yeah.
people seem really within themselves, but when you get to know Polish people, they're also like really taking care of you, and they want to invite you into their homes. And I love a lot about the cultural differences, but there's no place like home for me.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah, I think it's really important to explore these new cultures. So I would never say like groundhoppers are like glory hunters, because groundhoppers don't just go to the big games. It's not really about the game itself, right? Is it the stadium, the atmosphere, the culture around it? What is the most important part for you when you choose a stadium to go, a place to go?
I think that differs a lot per person. But I think for most groundhoppers, it's about the ground, right? It's about and I think
It's in
especially
the name.
I think especially the lower league, the more old-fashioned the stadium is, that gives them a edge to visit it, right? But for me, most important is like the cultural aspect and the atmosphere.
And if you're looking for the handiest tool for football fans to track all the games you're going to, that is definitely Footballogy. In the app you can add every match and see every stadium you've visited on the Footballogy map. And it's never been easier to actually find a game to watch, no matter where you are, with the nearby fixtures feature right in the app. They have literally every league, from the biggest Champions League stage all the way down to Sunday League. I can see every game going on in my area and also directions on how to get to the stadium. And the best thing is, whenever you go to a match, you can instantly see who else is going to be there to meet up, have a pint, and maybe even make new friends. And when I say Footballogy has pretty much every league, I'm actually being serious. The app covers more than 1,500 leagues with fixtures and results, and includes over 100,000 football grounds. And the fun part about it, you can earn special badges for reaching certain milestones, like seeing every club or stadium in a certain league, watching a big final or a fierce derby. That way you can flex your football journey with your Footballogy badges in front of your friends. I've now been to 122 matches in 49 grounds across 17 different countries, and my most watched team is actually Borussia Mönchengladbach. Let me know your stats. Download Footballogy for free via the link in the description, or you can also scan this QR code here and get your groundhopping journey started.
So you talked about the beginnings. What was your first groundhop experience?
I think I started it with KV Mechelen in Belgium.
Ooh,
I don't know. I was.
KV Mechelen.
I'm of course like located in the Netherlands, and
That's random that it wasn't in the Netherlands, your first one.
somehow I made my first video at my local city Utrecht, and then
Is that really groundhopping?
no,
if that's
there's
your
no
city?
groundhopping. But I uploaded that video, and then one guy commented like, "Hey, can you go to Mechelen?" And I was like, "Whoa, I got a comment."
First
from
comment,
someone.
let's listen to him. Yeah, I love
Let's
that.
fucking go. And they won against Club Brugge in the last minute,
Ooh,
which was.
traditional club.
And then I
Mechelen.
kind of like, wow. It feels like this is something I can do for a long time. And
Oh, and you still
from
do
there,
it.
I did 150 games in 2 years.
Oh, it's amazing, man. Mechelen, Cup winners, 1988.
Yeah,
Bit of
bro,
nerd stats,
that's
yeah.
his knowledge. But it's
Yeah.
like a really traditional club. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
They have like a really unique fan base. They have two sides where they stand. And,
Oh, two standing turrets.
yeah.
Opposite to each other.
Yeah, no. One is on the sides, like Arset Lans. Like one is on the sides and one is behind the
okay.
goal.
Yeah, Lons on the side, yeah.
I would definitely recommend you to go to Mechelen. And like, what made me fall in love with groundhopping for me, if you ask me, like, what is important, is also meeting locals. So I went to Mechelen. I was just this insecure boy.
You were alone there?
Yeah, I wasn't even filming myself. And then in the stand, I was like, "Hey, what are you doing here? Can I ask you a question?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure." And they got beers for me, and we had a great time. And that's for me also groundhopping. Like, I know the hardcore groundhoppers are like ticking off stadiums, and I'm not that type of guy. I'm more about cultural aspect and meeting people.
Yeah, I've seen on, there are groundhopping apps, like, for example, Footballogy, and I saw there's a ranking of people, how many games they've visited. I think number one has like 14,000 games, bro. I think it's a Bayern fan. Bro has how do you get 14,000 games in your life? Like that's, bro, if you go to games every day of the year for 10 years, that's 3,650 games. How do you get 14,000? That's 40 years every game.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, but
that's not the point for you, right?
But no, like,
Yeah, for me neither.
because there's also what sometimes people forget when they are like watching my videos. Like, I also have like a social life and a family.
Yeah, it's also
and,
a personal life.
and I just can't keep up with it. It's not healthy. Like, also taking care of my body, eating well, etc. It's not possible on these trips, especially when I'm,
routines, gym routines.
because I'm also like I'm working, and that's sometimes what people forget. Like, these trips, and this is something I've never shared, but these trips are like they takes a toll on my body and
Yeah,
my
100%.
life. Because, for example, let's take an example. If I were to go Saturday to, let's pick a city, Madrid.
Madrid.
I leave my house at 5 in the morning. At 7, I take the airplane. Then I arrive at 9:30 in Madrid. I race to the taxi. from taxi, or the
Metro.
metro. I go to this city. I'm at 11 in the city.
You
I
record
quickly-
all day
I
in the
record,
city.
I record cinematics. I record vlog. I have to travel to all these. Yeah, I have
you
to.
plan spots and-
I'm going to all these spots till 3, and it's just rushing. It's like running.
And then stadium
I
experience.
Then in 2 hours I edit my video. This
Already,
is how
yeah.
I did it for 1 year. So I edit my video in the hotel room. Then I pre-plan some things in my edit. Then I go to the match at 7. So from 7 till 9,
Match?
it's like outside of stadium, filming things, interviewing fans,
Yeah, before the game.
filming bits outside stadium. Then from 9 till 11:30, it's the match, and after the match atmosphere. Then I have to travel back in a full metro. So from 11:30 till
Which takes time to get back to the hotel. We'll get to that later as well.
till 12:30, I am in a metro, like with all the people, full of sweat, drained. Then from 12:30 till 4, I'm editing the video, uploading.
If you want to
it.
get it immediately out, yeah.
That's what I did.
and
like,
then
for
and then
1.5
next morning
year.
you take the plane eventually. That's how people do it.
Yeah. So and then the
Um,
next morning I took a plane to the next destination, and then on Sunday I did it all again till Monday evening.
That's how many people do it, and I full respect for these people. I know some YouTubers that definitely do that. For me, that's never like I hate that. So yeah, it's definitely exhausting, but it's also fun. So how do you choose a stadium that you want to visit? Like, let's talk about the planning of such a trip. How to get the tickets, hotels, flights, plane. How do you plan the trip? First thing, how do we decide where we go?
Yeah. So what I do. Honestly, this episode I'm giving away now all my secrets.
Yeah.
Like I gave already secrets in my ranking videos, but now it's just all.
It's
over.
all out. How do we plan these trips?
So what I do is, like, at every beginning of the month, I checked in all 10 leagues which derbies were coming.
Europe.
Yeah, which Clásicos were coming. I put out a tweet or Instagram story that give me suggestions. I made a list of that, and then on Google I made a plan, like in my calendar. So not even checking like the routes or flights, but first fitting up the calendar. Then you are going to check for connections. So first check if the connections are available.
Connections in terms of flights or connections to get tickets? How do you do it?
First flights.
Okay, flight connections.
Yeah, because you can have a ticket, but if you don't have a flight,
Yeah.
you can't go there.
Yeah, okay. But I think it's easier to get flights than sometimes tickets.
Yeah,
especially
but sometimes the flight was, like, for example, too expensive, or
that's the only problem
or
obviously
it
with
wasn't.
flights.
The flight was not
Fully booked.
not going. So there was no.
There was no flight.
For
Depends.
example, when I went from Marseille to Split Split Dynamo
Yeah.
Zagreb,
So that's a small
I
airport.
had to stay like 4 more days because there was no connection.
No flight back from Split to the Netherlands.
No, not that day.
Wow. Because
Yeah.
I will hopefully go to Split for their derby against Dynamo 3rd of May. And then I also saw there's not too many flights, right? There are direct ones, but they are also very expensive. And now, obviously, we've both seen many leagues. You've seen even more. What are the best ones for ground hopping, would you say? What are the best countries for ground hopping? And how do you decide what is a good country for ground hopping?
I think for ground hopping, Belgium is underrated
Mhm.
because I feel like Belgium is small. You can travel quite easily in the country, and you have like Brussels, who is like a pretty big ground up destination.
Many clubs, 5 or something in the first division?
Yeah, like a lot. And then, yeah, of course, the number one is, of course, Germany. Because Germany is just goated in terms of ground hop
Yeah, it's also
destinations. Like, because it is so different. Where I feel like, and this might be a hot take, but in England, it's all a bit like the same for me. And maybe English fans or international fans see Germany that as well. So I am fully aware of that, but in Germany, for me, it's so all identical. Like they
in
are,
Germany.
yeah, that the clubs all have their identities.
Ah, okay, so not identical, so very unique.
So the East
okay.
is so different compared
yeah.
to the West.
People told me I have to check out way more Eastern German stadiums, so I will probably do that in the next years. Yeah, that's a good
we are
choice.
reading the comments.
Yeah, we are, and also the criticism, we take it very seriously. No, I agree with you. I think actually this area where we're in right now, and where also you live in, so we are in North Rhine-Westphalia, west of Germany, North Rhine-Westphalia. You have so many clubs. It's the most densely populated area in terms of football clubs. Netherlands, Belgium is all like in the same area. You can go to
Yeah.
Amsterdam quick. You're even in Paris quick. I think this area is really nice for ground hopping.
Yeah, I
So,
think in the Netherlands, there's no better country in public transport than the Netherlands.
yeah, that's amazing in terms of trains. Belgium, as you said, is great. West of Germany is great. And then, this is a really nice area because you have so many. We have Dortmund, Schalke, Köln, Gladbach, Ajax, and all the Dutch clubs, all the Belgian clubs. And then I also think the UK is pretty good for groundhopping.
Especially in terms of grounds, because
the pyramid goes so far down.
And I'm like giving here hot takes, but I think the stadiums in Germany are like ugly and a bit all the same, like they're really manufactured, whereas in England they all have a soul.
The big ones.
No, but like the Goodison Parks,
I mean in Germany the big ones are because they were built for the World Cup. They're all more modern.
But look at the Mainz, look at the Wolfsburg,
that sucks.
Even I think Volkspark Stadium from the outside is
we will not accept Volkspark Stadion hate in this podcast, bro.
Yeah,
if you do that,
but I have to be honest, so fuck off. But no, like Volkspark Stadium is like, to me also the outside is just fucking ugly. Then most of the stadiums in Germany
see what he does to me.
Yeah, but all the stadiums in Germany, like a lot of stadiums are from the outside really, really ugly.
Well, but they're modern, so I get what you mean. No, but I think Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, and UK, those are the 4 best countries for groundhopping that come to my mind. So I think it's important that you have a good infrastructure, a big density of stadiums, and then, of course, you need tickets.
Yeah.
What is the best way to get last-minute tickets in your experience?
It has to be clear that for the last year and a half, I haven't used any general sale because or either the club invites me or a sponsor invites me or a fan gives me a ticket. That happens. But what I did is very easy. A month prior to the game, you check out the website. You check out the ticket info sales. It can't be easier. Like, and every year it changes. So you can send me a DM and say like, hey, how do I get tickets? But the website is the most valid option. Like they give the real-time information. So, for example, for Hannover Braunschweig, I researched the website 1 month prior to the game. Then it said the exact dates where member sale was. And general sale. Now, 1 hour before the general sale starts on that day,
you're on the
you
website.
Put your laptop on and you refresh like a crazy fucking guy the website a bit, and then
5 screens if you want to take it too seriously.
And then you get a ticket.
Did you get a ticket in general sale for the Niedersachsen?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Einfach, like really
that
easy.
That is crazy. Yeah, and then I think this is the number one question, not just on the podcast, but also my personal accounts. People ask me, how do I get tickets for this team? And I'm like, I get it because they might be from different countries and
of
they
course,
don't know.
I appreciate the question.
Definitely. But the most natural thing is, of course, check out the official website. As you said, me as well. We're creators. We produce videos there. So I've also not used for any club other than my own Hamburg. I always buy on member sale, but for other clubs, I've been either invited by club, by league, by sponsors. Because also I kind of don't want to take tickets from regular fans that are on regular sale. But yeah, the official club website, I've done that in the past again before I made these videos. Milan, we were there. We got tickets for Milan, Genoa, Coppa Italia 1 day before the game at San Siro on the official club website. So it's definitely possible for clubs that don't have that crazy sellout hype.
Yeah.
But obviously, if a club is always sold out, it's often the case in Germany. Then obviously you need to be a member to get a ticket. And then it's very important, I think, to build a social media connection. Like go on Twitter. Twitter X is very, very big for groundhopping, I think, for connecting with other fans. Facebook groups as well.
Okay, but even if you are uncertain of getting a ticket for a game, buy a membership because then you have an equal chance.
Yeah, that's the thing. People like that's also
that's
a
my
question.
second option.
But if you want to go to one game, let's say you want to go to one game at Hertha BSC. I don't know. It's okay.
And you have to buy a
sold
membership for €6.
For €60. Do you buy that for one ticket?
Yeah, because it's always, if you really want to go, because it's always way less than buy it via a unofficial ticket shop.
That's the thing, because many people then resort to stadium is sold out, official sale is gone. Maybe it was gone through members or they didn't get the general sale. And then there's platforms that obviously black market resale. I don't want to name any, but you know them. There's 2 very big ones. And I know friends who have bought there as well. I've never bought there because these platforms, lads, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth the risk. You might get your ticket. Yeah, it's like 50-50 because people sell there and then the platform is the middleman. They will not really help you if the person scams you. So there's been a lot of scams where the ticket was fake. It was already used, whatever. Don't support that shit, lads.
So my second option is a membership, and if you don't want to do that or you want to find another reason, there's also a third option, and that's Facebook groups. Twitter.
Yeah. So get a member, maybe like if you connect
So
find a
you-
Bayern member in that example who buys one for you,
Yeah.
and then next time you buy one for him at your club. Like that's
Yeah.
the community that really
but
matters, right?
do it like a month before. Like even what I did is under a post of a club where they post something, like some hardcore fans always comment
Mhm.
under that, you know. And
Yeah.
I message them like, hey bro, do you have a membership? Can
You've
you
done
get me a
that.
ticket? I've
Okay,
done it a lot.
Cody, bro's hustling. Bro's pulling all
So
the cards.
here you have like all my cards I did, and this is your way of getting tickets. Like, and I have got tickets for every fucking game.
Yeah, if you really want it,
You get
and
it.
you of course it's about connections. Maybe when you're starting out as a groundhopper, you don't have a lot of connections. Then start going to games where you
But
can
you-
easily get tickets on
yeah.
general sale. Once you build your connections in like you go to a club, you will meet people. You connect with them. Next time, maybe they might be able to get you a ticket
Yeah.
for a game that's sold out. But in the start, maybe good advice to go for games where it's just possible to go on general sale.
No, but the thing I can say is like I started also from 0 followers. So I've never from my first 6 months I had 200-300 followers,
Yeah,
and those were all my friends. Like
yeah. So it's possible.
oh, like just go hard on it. Don't hold back. Show yourself. Connect with people.
But you started at 200-300 followers. You went to these games. First one was KB Mechelen.
Yeah.
And then what was your best groundhopping experience?
Oh,
You've done how many games?
150.
150 in 2 years. There surely was something where you said like, this is crazy. This hobby is crazy.
Yeah, I think it happened during the trip where I went to Kaiserslautern, Aston Villa, and I closed it in Sevilla. Like
What a
I
trip!
cre-
Like Lautern, Villa, Sevilla. That was one trip.
Yeah, it was one trip, and also from
Woo.
Frankfurt. I took the wrong airport from Frankfurt.
Hahn, Frankfurt Hahn. Was there a flight, or were you just at the airport and
I was
stranded?
at no. There was. I arrived at Frankfurt
Okay,
Hahn,
and then you said like,
"This is
I
not
thought
Frankfurt."
I'm in
Like-
Frankfurt,
like
but it's closer
I
to
was in a big
Kaiserslautern.
forest, like
Yeah, it's an
But,
hour from Frankfurt, but it's close to Kaiserslautern.
yeah. So, but that trip was like I met so many different people, and at each game, I created friends that I still speak to.
Yeah, that's
like,
amazing. That's the main thing.
like in Villa, I still have contact with the guys. At Kaiserslautern, I met guys in the center where I had this like crazy weird beer that has cola. Have you ever heard about it?
Or maybe
You
that's
as a
a.
German. It's like beer with cola in it, and it's like they had like 8 of those.
Is that like an American thing? Because
don't know, if you-
Kaiserslautern is like the place where the most US soldiers are. It's full of US army soldiers, so they might have actually brought that. It sounds so American,
if
bro.
you are a listener and knows what it is, let me know in the comments below. It tasted alright for in the morning because
In the morning?
we started at 10 in the morning. Like, like Germans are
Yeah.
crazy, man.
Oh, that's
But,
normal.
and then at the guys at the bets, of course, I saw like one of the best fan bases in the country that I'd never heard of. So I've never heard anyone said go to Kaiserslautern.
But you-
Never.
Wow.
And then I went to Sevilla, where I again fell in love with Spain.
Betis or FC Sevilla?
Then I went to Betis.
Okay.
So
okay,
they
okay,
Betis versus Sevilla, like the derby.
Mhm.
And oh man, I met so many wonderful people there. Like this.
All alone the trip?
Yeah, all.
Ah, it's
alone.
amazing, man.
Just
That's how you.
vlogging
That's.
a
I
bit.
feel like if you go alone, you make more friends as well.
Yeah, but
Because
I
if you
just
go with
can't-
your friend, you're not forced to find people to talk
always
to.
limited, and I'm very like a extrovert guy, so I'm like really open to.
You just talk to people. Yeah.
I talk a lot to different
That's
people. Like, I'm
amazing.
not scared to bump into someone.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's what it's about, right? Groundhopping.
But for you, like, what's the best ground up experience for you?
I think if we talk about this meeting people, randomly getting tickets, it's definitely Bangkok, bro. Thailand, Bangkok. We were there, as I think I told you already, with my girlfriend. I wasn't even in Thailand for football, just with my girlfriend. 2.5 weeks Thailand exploring. Last day we were in Bangkok, and then the fan page of Port FC Bangkok club. They just texted me. You know, that was just also random. They texted me, "Yo, we play." Who did they play? BG Patum, I think. That's like another club there in Thailand. And they said, "Yo, I can organize you a ticket. Would be nice if you come." And then we met with them. They were from Romania, bro. Like they were from Eastern Europe, but they just stayed there. And they're fans of the club because they lived in Bangkok. And then we randomly met them, and the tickets were like €2, like weird paper tickets. Loved it. And I found myself from an Instagram DM. I just found myself with my girlfriend within the ultras. So that was also like in terms of meeting people. That was so nice. We were like a group of like 5-6 people. I was with them, and we sang the chants. Tried to sing Thai chants.
Yeah.
And I think not in terms of atmosphere, in terms of the game, but in terms of meeting people, that's just, that's just groundhopping, bro. And
did Lisa enjoy it?
yeah, even she loved it. Like we had some videos, and I never posted the actual video of it. I might still, but it was just amazing, really. But now a lot of our listeners and viewers, I think, also wonder, how do you finance these trips? Like, how do you plan budgeting? What's the most expensive part? How can you get ground hopping trips on a limited budget?
I think this is the part where I maybe have some bad news, because
Bad news, lads.
I started this like during Corona, like COVID.
Mhm.
So the prices of flights, I paid 30, 40 euros for flights to Prague,
Yeah, same.
to Sevilla. And now prices from Amsterdam to Warsaw or Prague are 250 euros. Like the prices have tripled, have like.
Demand is back, obviously, supply and demand.
Also for me, like producing these videos now and going to a place, it's just not really attractive anymore.
Mhm. Okay.
But to answer your question, like on a budget, yeah, it's possible. Try to go to the cheaper airport. So you always have in a country like the big airport, and always try. For example, in the Netherlands, you have Amsterdam and Eindhoven.
Eindhoven is Ryanair.
Eindhoven is Ryanair. So like those, especially when you only fly in Europe, you can do those low cost airplanes, right?
Yeah.
But also, do you want to take the risk, etc.?
What risk?
That because when Ryanair cancels their flight, you are just left to shit. You know.
Why, you'd still in Europe? You always get like a good money if your flight's being cancelled.
Yeah. Okay. But
Even Ryanair, so it doesn't really matter, I think.
yeah. Okay. But my experiences with the Ryanair.
Have you had many problems with Ryanair?
Yeah, I have a lot. I had one time where I went to Legia for the first time. I had agreement with the club,
Mm.
and then there was a bomb. Like someone said he had a bomb on the
Oh,
airplane.
a bomb threat on
Yeah.
your plane.
And I was stuck. On the plane next to me that was
Okay.
arrived, and I was stuck in the airplane for 3.5 hours.
Okay, but that's, to be fair, not really something the airline can control. That can happen to you in any airline,
True,
literally.
true. But that was like
this is
a
just a-
horrific story that happened to me. And then we had to leave the plane, and I had to go back home.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, this is obviously it's a risk of traveling, but like this could always happen. I can say that on, I don't know how many Ryanair flights I've taken overall. I know this is not great for the environment, but I know that last year I took like 40 flights, like, and 80 if you count return. So I've taken some flights, and I think once a Ryanair flight was cancelled from London, and then we just got another one.
Like they are.
So I think like flying
fine.
within Europe, we're really privileged. Like we have a lot of options. Also, advice for flying within Europe. Also, like Netherlands area, Weeze, Düsseldorf, Niederrhein. That's what they call, or Ryanair call it. This airport is crazy for low cost. And like it's almost only Dutch people. You know it?
Yeah.
Like this airport. Only like Ryanair made this airport happen. Like it was an airbase, and now it's only Ryanair and some EasyJet. So whenever you want cheap flights, I've flown to Scotland for like 50 euros return. With that, flown to Mallorca for 30 euros. So it's still possible.
Yeah,
it's
no,
still possible.
the advice is like find local airports that are cheap.
Yeah.
And then go on a budget
So
airplane.
yeah, so definitely ground hopping is a more expensive hobby than, let's say, playing football in your local team. Sure, but there are tricks to limit that, and one is budget airlines. So then you might obviously pay more than a few years back, but then you also got stadiums with like 30% capacity because of limitations. So now it's more fun, but you also have to pay more.
Yeah,
so let's say you find something and then you're there.
Yeah.
Accommodation.
Yeah, and of course you have to go to your accommodation. So I always travel via public transport. Like it's really cheap in every city. I've never had a expensive public transport experience, and it's all most of the time the fastest option. So always get public transport from the airport to your hotel or hostel. I always went with a hotel for two reasons. One, because I had like not a lot of sleep planned. I needed to get the sleep I could get. So I always went for a hotel. And two, I was recording voiceovers, editing.
Yeah.
I needed a quiet place. So I always went with the hotels. My experience is that the prices on the hotel websites are always the cheapest. I'm even with booking level 4 or 5, Genie's level, you know.
Yeah, I'm also high.
Booking.com.
I'm also highest level, but still.
Still on hotel websites, you can find most of the time the best deals. And sometimes, but this is just me being crazy, I called hotels and I was like,
That's a good
do you maybe
advice.
have like a discount or a room? And then most of the time they said, yeah, we do have a room. If you bring, I had one in Sevilla, and they said if you bring 50 euros, it's yours.
Okay, that's really good advice, because oftentimes you can actually get better prices directly connecting with the hotels.
Sometimes, like that's what we say at home a lot. No is what you have, and yes is what you can get.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. So definitely, yeah. I mean, you can surely use platforms like Booking. Like I mostly use Booking, but then you see the price, and then why not? Why would you not try to call the hotel, say, okay, 2 nights here. I see on Booking it's 150 euros. Can I get it for cheap? And they might say, yeah, will you book with us at 130? Could happen,
Yeah.
sure. So that's definitely an option. Or if you're with more people, you could also get like an Airbnb,
Yeah.
which is I found in countries like Croatia, especially Croatia, Italy, those places, hotels are pretty expensive, but they have so many flats and Airbnbs that are really, really good value. And then traveling within the cities or within the countries, you always use public transport. You never take an Uber.
I did public transport, and where it was possible, I used these e-scooters.
Yeah, bro, that would have been my like
Okay.
secret suggestion, but that's I think so underrated to get out of a stadium, because after games, the traffic will be insane in most places. Either metro, you will have to wait so long until you get into one, or traffic cars insane. So when I'm in Hamburg, for example, I always take an e-scooter to get to my hotel or anything. It's much cheaper, and it's also, I think it's a vibe, bro, to at night on your own with a scooter through the city.
If it's available, which is the case a lot of times in Germany, but in countries where it's not available, what I do after a game, so when the stadium is like completely sold out, for example, in Naples, it's a complete mess after full time. You
It's
have to
always a
walk.
mess.
You have to walk for 1-2 kilometers, like towards the city, and then you can order Uber.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that's also a thing, like because I have been to games also in Poland. I just walk for 1 kilometer, like a bit from the stadium towards the city center, and those areas are always safe because around the stadium there's always
Poland is very safe in general.
yeah, but like I've never had a bad experience near a stadium. So what I do is I walk 1-2 kilometers like in a direction, and then I try to order Uber, or from there I take the metro, because sometimes the metro is
Yeah.
way quieter.
Yeah.
So that's also one more time a secret tip I can share.
Yeah. Or if you have a stadium directly in the center, of course, and you have your place nearby, just walk home. That's also good. And then one more major advice that I have for you guys traveling. We've covered flights, hotels, traveling within the countries, food. You also have to eat something. Otherwise, it won't be nice for you. If you want to save money, don't go to restaurants and all that stuff. Use Too Good To Go, actually. You know the app?
I've never heard of it.
Too Good To Go is a game changer for these trips, especially in countries like Spain. Spain, I've had major good experiences with that. It's basically an app where like restaurants and supermarkets, even hotels, they register. And if they have, like at the end of the day when they close, they have food left that's still good. They don't want to throw it away. So they put it on the app. You can get like food that would be costing 15, 20 euros for like 3-4 euros. So Barcelona, bro, I was with my girlfriend. I used it heavily. I just discovered it basically like these nice Spanish bakeries that had really nice pastry. They close at 6 p.m. We went there, and they give you almost everything they have. Pay like 3 euros, and they give you like a bag like that with all that good food. You can heat it up and everything.
Nice.
So this is really nice advice if you want to save money in foreign cities.
Not sponsored.
No, not at all. But I'm using it. Copenhagen, we also used it. It's really nice quality food, and you also contribute to not wasting food. So now you know how to ground hop, but you don't know where yet. You, as Groundhop FC, bro, give us your top 5 destinations. Where should people go? Where do you recommend?
Yeah, so these are again destinations I've been to. 3 destinations I haven't been to, but which I highly recommend, are Belfast, Dublin, and Thailand, Bangkok. Because one of my best friends, Sam, Food Adventures, recommended me these places. He has been there. He's also a big groundhopper.
Yeah, Scotland.
So
He knows
I
everything.
haven't been there, so I can't judge, but I'm trusting my bro for 100%. He's coming on this podcast.
Top guy.
So these 3 places, also note it down, because I'm giving away everything I have in this episode.
Yeah. And I can confirm, at least for Dublin and Thailand, I've been to both. It's really nice. I went to a game as well, Dublin. Really authentic.
My number 5 is Brussels, because in Brussels you have 4 or 5 clubs in the UPR Pro League, but also lots of older grounds that are in the city. So for ticking off stadiums, having a nice city center. There are a lot of bad stories about Brussels, but the city center is nice
it's
and
beautiful.
cozy.
It's beautiful.
So it's a great ground destination. Good airport there, so easy to go to. That's also what I'm taking into consideration.
Train as well. If you live in Germany, it's easily Brussels in a few hours. Number 4.
Number 4, Lisboa. Because besides the beautiful club Sporting Clube de Portugal, you have Belenj,
Yeah, beautiful club as well.
and you have the National Stadium in Lisboa. And there's also another club.
I always go. When do you want to mention that?
And there's also Benfica.
Okay.
But like Lisboa, beautiful city center. The airport is great. The metro system is amazing.
Beautiful weather most of the time.
Yeah, so for a ground destination, Lisboa is fucking underrated.
And number 3, does it get any better then? You
Yeah,
have 3.
from now on, I think the ground destinations are like massive, easy to go to, and just impressive. Number 3, Glasgow.
Mhm.
Besides Glasgow being an amazing city,
Oh, you think so?
yeah,
You like the city?
yeah, I like Glasgow, like the restaurants, the pubs. I think
It's a fun city, I'd say.
yeah, and also quite.
not a beautiful one, but a fun one.
No, it has a beautiful part, like the hill with the graveyard. Like it's beautiful.
Okay, yeah, Glasgow, and you have a lot of clubs. You have Celtic,
So yeah,
Rangers, Queens Park.
yeah. So in Glasgow you have Celtic, Rangers, Queens Park, but also a lot of non-league clubs with grounds. Also because of Sam, I discovered you have like a lot of stadiums there. So if you love ticking off stadiums, go to Glasgow.
And there are 2 better ones than Glasgow. Silver medal.
Yeah, 2 is not a city, so I'm cheating here, but North Rhine-Westphalia in Germany, it's like the west of Germany. And there you have giant football clubs, but also clubs who are in the 3rd, 4th division even.
MSV
have-
Duisburg.
Woo! Which have a giant fan base. It's so easy to get around. The local trains do get more on time than the ICs, in my experience. And they are really easy connected. So the best thing about it going to North Rhine-Westphalia is you can plan several weekends because there is so much to discover. It's like one big Disneyland.
Disneyland. Disneyland for groundhoppers, bro. This is Disneyland for groundhoppers.
Yeah.
Number 1, yeah. There can
For
only
the
be one city.
ultimate groundhop experience in Europe where I've been to must be London, right?
Fair.
Like there are, I can't even count how
Seven-
many stadiums.
17 professional clubs, I
Yeah,
think.
and then you also have lower league clubs,
Yeah, you have
non-league clubs
non-league.
with nice grounds.
Yeah, it's insane.
So London is the ultimate groundhop experience.
But you've also experienced cities that you say, nah, they're not made for groundhopping. They're flops.
Yeah, not a lot.
What's a
to
flop?
be fair, I really have enjoyed my journey throughout Europe.
Okay.
I can recommend it to everyone. Like I
Okay.
haven't had many bad cities, but I have had one.
One bad one.
Yeah, which I just find a shit city
Overall or for groundhopping?
for groundhopping and overall.
Which one is that?
It's Milan.
Milano. The
It's-
north of
it's-
Italy.
it's
But you love
Milan.
Italy for groundhopping. You said that before.
Yeah, I love like Rome. I love Genoa. I love Naples. I love even Turin. I find
Torino.
interesting.
Beautiful
Torino.
city, yeah.
But
But Milano you hate. And you also
Milano-
hate San Siro, so it fits.
I hate the public transport in Milano. I hate after going San Siro to get back to the city. Even people.
But
said
there
in
are
the
there are
comments,
metro stations around the stadium.
there are metro stations, but it's just fucking difficult. Like, and even if you want to stay after the game, because I have been there, and after the game I stayed a bit in the stadium, and then I couldn't take the metro back. So
Yeah, but I get it.
like also the city, it just doesn't get to me. There's no real connection towards the big giants. Like when I'm going to a city where a big giant is active, you hope to see connections, but I just don't feel it.
Yeah, I get it. Like it's one of the biggest football cities in the world with 2 giant clubs, 10 combined Champions League trophies. So I get what you mean. You kind of expect more. I've been to Milano, I think 4 times now. It's also not one of my favorite cities. You kind of expect more if you compare it to Napoli. Where you see everything around the football club. You kind of expect more Inter and Milan. I don't know, just
Yeah,
logos, flags, or
But
tifos.
also,
I know what you mean.
Also very typical for Italy is like in Pisa, Venezia, you have like these beautiful squares with like terraces, like where you.
Well, at the Duomo there is
No, not a lot.
there is a square. There is a
Yeah,
piazza at the Duomo.
but not with like these cozy restaurants.
There are restaurants, but it's
Yeah, but
Tourist
not
restaurants.
Verona, Firenze, like
yeah. I
the
mean,
places I've been there. For me, Milan is just a different place in Italy.
yeah. You have to understand that Milano is the business and finance capital of Italy, the economic hub. So it's not doesn't have this charm and beauty of other places that you are naming. I agree with you
Also,
there.
the airports are 1 hour away from the city.
Yeah,
I just don't.
Linate is kind of inside, but it's more expensive. I agree with you.
I just don't like going to Milan. Time for our next segment.
Yeah.
Debunking myths.
Debunking myths.
Groundhopping is all about ticking off stadiums as much as you can.
I mean, for some it might be. There are these hardcore groundhoppers that just go for the stats. For me, I don't think so. I don't enjoy that. I think I wanna get to know the people. I wanna dive into local culture, explore cities as well. And I'd rather do one or two groundhop tours a month where I really get involved in the culture, rather than like 5 every week where I just go bam, 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 tick off this ground. What do you say?
Yeah, I think that covers it, especially the way I lived for 1.5 years, where sometimes my friends ask me like, "Do you even
Do you
enjoy
still
it?
en-
Do you even
Can you
witness-"
still appreciate it?
Sometimes I had to answer like, "No, man, it all happened so fast,
Yeah.
you know." Like, and I think you appreciate things more when you do things at a slow pace. So
Yeah, and that's I think what both of us are doing now, like quality over quantity. And then the next myth, we've already kind of covered it, but you have to spend a lot of money to be a groundhopper.
yeah, this is so absolutely false, because like there are options for everyone, and like to be on a budget, public transport, Flixbus in Europe, like it's absolutely fucking shit. But if you are on a budget, go with Flixbus. It saves you hundreds of euros.
It's
I have
always
been in the
possible.
worst fucking Flixbus journeys ever. I had an option going to Genoa, 500 euro return flight from Amsterdam, or EasyJet, 120 euro return plus 20 euros Flixbus ticket.
To
that
Torino,
traveled me
EasyJet.
to Nice in France, and from Nice to Genoa in the night.
That's like 5-6 hours, right?
Yeah.
And you did that? Did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Return.
Wow,
So
respect.
after the match, also Flixbus back to Nice.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you can definitely do it on a budget, but of course, in
It's not
terms
so-
of comfort, you'll have to sacrifice something.
Yeah. I think it's time for your favorite segment.
Ah, yes, subscriber questions. In this episode, we have more than usual because we both put up question stickers on the stories, and we got lots of questions from you guys. We try to answer as many as possible. This is always a topic where many people want to know something. Tommy is the first guy that asked, do you track your games? And like, do you have a program and app for that? Because there are some. What do you use?
I use my own YouTube channel.
To
because
track your videos. Yeah,
because my videos are where I've been, but I also use Footballogy, which is an amazing app, because with Footballogy you can track all the games you've been to, but also when you're at a certain location, you can see which games are in your area. I think that's a really strong aspect of that game.
that's main.
And also the map, and that's what I really love,
Yeah.
is you see the map of where you have been to, which is impressive. You can see where your friends have been to.
You can connect with mutuals. You can find mutuals.
Yeah, so I use Footballogy.
Yeah. I've been using several apps as well. Now, actually, I'm starting to use Footballogy as well. I've known it for a big while. Now, actually, I'm really starting to appreciate this, especially this one where you're something in a foreign country and you click find games in the area, right? And then you also see which other users are there. I think this is also a main way to connect with groundhoppers. So really sick. You see all your stats. You can compete with friends who's been to more grounds, who's been to more countries. So I think most groundhoppers use an app like that. And this is
Footballogy is the Groundhoppers app.
Alex asks, best places in Germany to visit as an American football fan. So
Yeah, so North Rhine-Westphalia, I think Hamburg is also a really nice city to go to. Berlin, I think it's also, for one, a beautiful city, and there are a lot of clubs in Berlin. I think the area of Stuttgart, Kaiserslautern, Karlsruhe.
yeah, Southwest, Baden-Württemberg,
Southwest.
Rheinland-Pfalz. Yeah, it's a nice place.
Those are my top 4.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. North Rhine-Westphalia, definitely number 1. You can go to so many clubs, as we've already said. Hamburg, I agree, beautiful city. Berlin, amateur scene is pretty big, very big. City-wise, well, each to their own. It's not my thing. But then, most American tourists, they go to Bavaria, to Munich, and then they say everyone walks around in lederhosen. But if you want to do that, sure. If you want to combine that, I think most Americans will go there. You can also catch good games in Bavaria, Nuremberg, Bayern, 1860. So yeah, some nice areas there in Germany. And use the trains. Next question from Pim. How do you find out where fans gather before games to get the full experience?
Yeah, the way I did it is I used to go to a lot of Instagram posts of ultra groups, or I try to find fans that commented under the official page of the club. So I just DM'd like, hey bro, what's the meeting spot for you guys? Most of the time, what I did the day before the game, ultras post a lot of times places where they are, especially for big derbies. They do something like at 7, and
We
then you
meet
see the
here,
banner,
meeting point, yeah.
meeting point. So that's the one and only way.
Yeah. And the last one is from MJ05. Do you have tips for staying safe in relation to hostile fan groups? Have you experienced that?
I think there's nothing you have to be worried about. I think what I always did is also try to focus a bit on the police. What are they doing? Are they like also comfortable, like, or are they ready to intercept?
Mhm.
Also, I try sometimes to talk with fans, but what I usually do is also try to be a bit in the city side, stay on the city side.
Tourist spots, yeah.
And there you have nothing to be worried about. But also near the stadium, try not to always go inside the middle and never put your camera or when you want to
That's
take a
the thing.
photo in people's faces. Like always be respectful with it. And if you are not sure, just ask. Just ask the guy next to you, like, hey bro, are you known here? And then he says yeah or no. And then you're like, okay, so if I take a picture now, do you think that's okay? Or can you help me? And then in the case someone comes to you like, don't filming, the guy that speaks the language can always say like, so
Can always like mediate, yeah.
And don't be scared also to ask questions to police. I've also asked sometimes like, hey, where's the entrance, or where do these guys gather, or is this the ultra stand? And they're always happy to help in every country. Like police always helps.
So yeah, don't be scared to ask, connect, and be respectful, and then people will be nice to you.
This was episode 13.
Lots of tips given, man.
I hope I gave you some tips as well as Finn did. Please, if you have another question, let them know in the comments down below. If you have some feedback for us, or you want to give some additional information about your experiences, let us know in the comments down below. Together, we are building this podcast, and it's all possible thanks to your support. Leave a like under the video, and we see you guys next Wednesday.